You're now live, is what it's saying. And I am, which is good. Okay, now this is broadcast to Amazon Live. So I'm just waiting for the signal to go through to Amazon. Hello on Facebook and YouTube. This is my demonstration area. I'll give you a walkthrough once I've got Amazon Live set up. So we're going to go live on Amazon Live. And then I'm going to copy the Amazon Live link into my Be Live studio. My phone has just told me that I'm live on Amazon Live. So that's good. You can paste there and press connect and hope that it goes green. It has gone green. So we're live on Amazon Live, and straight away, I want to say hello to Corinda. Hello, Corinda. Good to see you. Corinda's a good friend, lives near to Heathrow Airport, and Corinda's comment has actually come through. So Corinda is saying, hello, Stephen. And then there's another comment before that, which is on Facebook. And keep up the good work from Jessa. Thank you. It's nice to see you. And another comment coming through in a second. And over to Corinda again. I'm sad. You're in Facebook jail. Corinda, I can empathize, but you shouldn't really volunteer. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Dida. Nice to see you. And back to the first comment again, which I may have missed. Keep up the good work from Jessa. Thank you very much. And over to Dida again. And Dida is saying, wonderful job, dear Sir Stephen Healey. Thank you, sir. Excellent. Okay, to everybody's watching live on Facebook and YouTube, thank you. To everybody's watching on LinkedIn, thank you. And no, we're not on LinkedIn today. We're on Amazon Live. We're live on Amazon Live today, and I'm going to be telling you about everything that's down the carousel. Now, if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, then the link is actually in the text above the video. So if you press that link, you come directly over here, as Corinda has come over to Amazon Live, and we're on Amazon Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live. We're live. Okay, and my aim today is to stay on air. Did the show yesterday with Nick, where we did the movie quiz, and we never got to the end of the movie quiz because technical problems yesterday. So I'm hoping that today's broadcast goes seamlessly and that we don't have any gremlins. And I'm not on the website today, Corinda, unfortunately, because at the moment, Be Live has only got one RTMP, but one day, who knows? And over to Corinda again, which I try to comment. Yeah, okay, but I don't think we're actually live on the website because this is direct from Be Live to Amazon Live. So you're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. I want to say a big thank you for joining me today, and thank you to Corinda and Dida and Jessa. And if I mispronounced anybody's name, I do apologise. If you want to spell it phonetically, then I'll try again. But hopefully we're pretty close. Okay, so welcome to the broadcast. Stephen from England, and this is all about lights, camera, action. We're talking about webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and the action part, which is Fitbits. And I can confirm, if we hide that card, go back to the desktop and back to me, that we are broadcasting live from Be Live, and wherever you see this logo, let me find the logo first of all. It's over here. When you see that logo, that's Be Live. I'm going to be demonstrating Be Live throughout this broadcast because this is not OBS. This is be.live, and it's my favorite platform to broadcast from to Amazon Live because of all the features that are actually in the studio. Comment coming in from Corinda. My hands are here. The comment is going to appear in 3, 2, 1. I have a question about Logitech Brio. How far away should I be sitting? Basically, you want to be sat in front of the camera. Wherever you're comfortable is the answer to that. You've got to be able to look at the camera. My Brio camera is actually on top of my BenQ monitor, which is down the carousel. And it's approximately about 6 foot away from me. So that, to me, I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm comfortable with the Brio being there. I know where it is, and I can actually look direct into the lens, and it looks like I'm actually looking directly at you, which is what it's all about. Now, we started the show with this view. This is my second camera, which we're going to be talking about, which is the OBSBot 4K camera. And just going, all these items I'm about to show you, I obviously own because they're on my desktop. I'll come back to Corinda in a second. We're going to be talking about Logitech C920X cameras there, about the Anker 4-way USB. It's this, well, this less than $18 unit that's allowing me to have 2 cameras and 2 microphones today. The Echo Dot, Angelica's got version 4. I'm stuck with version 3. Alexa, what's the temperature today?
At the moment, it's 25 degrees Celsius. Tonight,
Alexa, stop. Okay, base my instructions. The beautiful thing about the Alexa is you can do so many things with it. I'll speak about some of those as we go along in the broadcast today. And if I don't know the answer to a question, I'll ask Alexa. Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss-American multinational manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California.
Alexa, stop.
The company had...
So when we look at Logitech cameras, remember it's a Swiss-American company and they're based in the US and in Switzerland. TP-Link Deco, this is the Wi-Fi system that my friend Nick Wood bought the other day. I've had mine for 18 months. It is a reliable way of getting Wi-Fi around the house. And I'll come back to your question, Corinda, in a minute. Who owns the OBSBot when we get onto the OBSBot? Basically, Nick bought 3 of these yesterday. He was having problems. He basically does a show on Amazon Live, which is a cooking show. And for his cooking show, he's in the kitchen. And the problem is, in the kitchen, he didn't have Wi-Fi until yesterday, when he took delivery of 3 of these units, and he now has perfect Wi-Fi in his kitchen. So when you watch Nick's show on Amazon Live next, you'll be able to see him properly. We've got the Aftershocks headphones, which are my favorite headphones. And if I unzip the case, okay, and I can show you these. These are Aftershocks headphones, and these are great for walking, running, jogging, and cycling. We'll be looking at those, so I'll put those back in the case. Next to those are, I'm not sure whether these are in the carousel actually, are earbuds by TrebLab. These are the X3 Pro earbuds, again, for exercise, for walking, running, jogging, and cycling. So you can either have headphones or you can have earbuds. And thanks to Lamicore, I own 75% of what's in the carousel, but Lamicore were kind enough to send me this wonderful stand. And if I come back to me, I can actually show you the stand. Just a minute. Okay, stand is here. This is it. You can just about see it. Yeah, okay. You can adjust the rake. You can adjust the height. Okay, and then you can take your Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra or your iPhone 12 or 13 or your Samsung Galaxy S21, and you can quite simply put it on the stand. This stand, which is a phone stand, takes larger phones, and then you can go like that, and hopefully if I press this in the right place, I can actually switch the phone on, which is always a good idea. And if I go here, because we'll be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Ultra in no time, I can go to my profile and go to Stephen Healey, and hopefully, I'm hoping against hope. First comment again. I just need to turn the sound down, and I can go here and go here, and you can now see me. This broadcast is live on Facebook. You can see the logo, top right-hand corner. This is obviously the same broadcast. And I just love the quality of the display on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. So we'll be talking about that during this broadcast. This is the stabilizer, and it does 8K photos as well. So I've got a problem. And okay, I need to do one thing. Just a minute. I need to go here. Okay, I think we're still there. I got to. I'm a bit on. I'm a bit on pins at the moment because I want this broadcast to actually go to its full completion. Let's carry on. Go back to Corinda, and Corinda is saying, "I have a question about how far should be sat away." We said about 6 to 8 feet is ideal. Right. Okay. Corinda was happy with the answer. Very good. And over to Corinda again. Who owns Obspot Tiny? Obspot are a company in their own right. They are Obspot, just like Logitech and Logitech. Obspot are Obspot. Yeah. So they put the name on the camera. And does Aftershocks headphone hurt your head or is it smooth? Well, thank you for the question. These are down in the carousel, and Aftershocks. I mean, I was fortunate enough to go to Farnborough to a fitness show, and Aftershocks were actually exhibiting there, and they had the full range of Aftershocks. These are the ones down in the carousel, and the thing about them is they go over your ear. They don't go in your ear, so they're not at all irritating. Yeah, there's nothing in your ear canal with these. They go over your ear, and you hear the sound through your skull. Okay, the audio waves are transmitted through your skull. Now, it's not hi-fi, but it is good quality. And I use these for walking, jogging, running and cycling. And tomorrow, Angelica and I are actually walking up to Oliver's Castle in Devizes, which was the scene of a Civil War battle. There's not much remains now, but it is a great place to get a vantage view out over Wiltshire, Somerset, Gloucester. So we're looking forward to going up there. And then afterwards, our treat is we're actually going to go to Subway afterwards. So thank you for the question, Corinda. And Aftershocks are great for being outside because, as Corinda knows, being based in London, we do get quite a bit of rain in the UK. Although we talk tomorrow that the chance of rain is only 7%, which is good. Okay, I'll take that. It was 50% today. It did rain a little bit, but then it moved on. I've got a comment coming in from Dida, and Dida is saying, keep up the good work, dear Sir Stephen Healey. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining me, Dida. Okay, and next, I'm nearly knocked the set over. The next comment is coming in from Corinda, and Corinda is saying, "What's the sound like?" The sound's good. I mean, the headphones are good quality sound. I mean, Aftershocks have a good reputation. I mean, they're waterproof, which is brilliant. They come in varying colors. You don't have to have blue if you don't want blue, and they simply work. Thank you for the question, Corinda. Okay, right, let's go down to the carousel then. And we're going to go with my iPad is in front of me. It's sideways. I can't read sideways, but I can actually see that comments are coming in. So if you've got any questions about any aspect of live broadcasting, please do ask. If I just take the logo off for a moment, because you all know I'm actually broadcasting on Be Live. So let's go here and let's put my logo on. Okay, and apply. So you're watching Stephen Healey. Okay, because sometimes when you've been broadcasting for a while, people come in and out of this show regularly throughout the 2 hours, and I'm just going to leave my name up there for a little while. But before I do that, I want to do this. So I'll bring that back in a second. What I want to do is this, and I've set this up so I can just click here. And if I move the logo, just a minute. Okay, I've got so many things I can do in this studio and apply. Okay, your host today, Stephen Healey from England. That's me. We're talking about live broadcasting, everything to do with live broadcasting. If you've got any questions, I've been doing this for 7 years before Facebook Live, which is when live video really began. We're going to talk about Logitech Brio next, and then upcoming is the Samsung S22 mobile, which is the flagship phone. And I want to say a big thank you for actually spending part of your day with me. I do appreciate it. And if I can help, then please do ask. This is a free service from Amazon Live. Like 2,000 other Amazon Live broadcasters, I do not work for Amazon. I do get a small commission sometimes, but I don't work for Amazon, and I'm here to give you an unbiased opinion. I own 75% of what's in the carousel. I'll tell you the good things and the bad things. So an honest review. And if you want to know more about anything, yeah, about anything in the carousel, there are 39 items in there today, then just click the link. That will take you over to the standard Amazon.com page. By clicking the link, you're not buying anything, but it gives you more detail when you go to the page for the Logitech Brio. And let's go down to the carousel. And the Logitech Brio today is 135.63. I put 62. I put my glasses somewhere. It's no good idea. I don't wear glasses, do I? Which is a big discount. It's normally $199. So the camera I'm about to show you, as we hide the sticky notes. Okay, the good thing about sticky notes is that I can actually take a sticky note. He said, this is not going to work, and I can move it over there. Okay. Right, I can also hopefully move it back again. Okay, so just a feature of the Be Live Studio, and we'll dispense with the sticky notes as we go on with the storytelling. So the first item is the Logitech Brio webcam. Now, you're looking at the Logitech Brio webcam now. The Brio webcam can do 720, which is DVD quality, 1080, and 4K. I got this camera 2 years ago because I was interested in what 4K can do for us. And basically, once you've got a 4K camera, plug it in. It's a USB connection, no problem at all, Windows or Mac. And then get OBS, add your camera to OBS, set your destination to YouTube, switch to 4K in the resolution top right-hand corner, and you're broadcasting in 4K to YouTube. And I've done it, and I can attest to the quality. Now, the thing to be careful of, okay, this takes processor power. So you want a PC or Mac that's 2 or 3 years old to do this, to do the 4K bit. To do the 1080 and 720, then it doesn't matter if your computer's 6 years old. But 4K, make sure it's a recent computer, switch your computer off, as reboot, and then go straight to OBS and straight out to YouTube. So it's got ultra 4K video, and when you actually see the quality of the video on YouTube, you will be impressed. I was impressed. The quality, this is the future. We're future-proofing ourselves. Went into town today, and on the walk back, we saw workmen, and they're actually digging the road up, and they're digging the road up to their new cable, super fast cable. And soon, super fast cable will reach our road in devices, and then I can broadcast in 4K. Broadcasting 4K, but you can't use a web-based system like I'm using now, like Be Live or Restream. You have to use something like OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster, and you can broadcast in a high resolution. Now, the Brio itself has a noise cancelling microphone. Now, this is important. It's been pretty warm in the UK recently, which meant everybody's had their windows open. So I've got mine open, my neighbours have got his open, and they are fitting a new bathroom. Now, fitting a new bathroom includes drilling, hammering, in fact, everything you can do with actually carpentry and joinery and plumbing. And I can hear him because both our windows are open. But I've been broadcasting solidly and nobody else heard it. Okay, noise cancelling. It stops the noises apart from your voice. Now, if you're on a Zoom call and your dog barks, if you have a noise cancelling microphone, nobody else can hear the dog, just you. So that's what it does. It has low light compensation. Now I'm being lit at the moment by the Logitech Litra light. Okay, so I've got one light on, and that light is the only light in my studio, and I'm just waiting for some software to load. I always have software with any hardware. I think that's the best way to work it. So let's get, hopefully in a minute, I can switch the light off. Now I've gone darker. You can still see me because the camera itself, the Brio, is doing HD light auto correction. So it's making sure you can still see me. But if you're broadcasting live on Facebook or Zoom or YouTube or Twitter or Twitch, then you do need a light. And we'll be talking about Logitech Litra light later. Now, in a couple of minutes' time, I'm going to show you the software that actually controls every Logitech camera. and that's C920, 922, 925, 930. Total control over your camera. And I'm going to explain why it's important and the difference that it makes. That when you buy hardware, always check there is software. If there is software, download it. Okay, it's got a wide field of view, and just a trailer for the Logitech C9, sorry, just a trailer for the Samsung S22, which is coming later. That is 90 degrees. So if I turn this phone around, that is the 90-degree angle across there. And so it can see in an arc around there. So that's what it can see, unless you've got the software. Just to point out, it is 4 times resolution of a typical HD webcam. In other words, this is the best we as consumers can get. I've heard of 5K, but I think 4K is probably more widely used. The light adjustment talked about, proprietary to Logitech, is called Right Light. Now, as well as the 90-degree, the 90-degree angle, I'll turn it that way so you can see it. Lenses on the back, I'm just going to cover those up so I don't distract. It's got 3 fields of view, so it can do the 90 degrees, and then it can do inside that 78 and 65. And that brings us to the software. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my desktop with the software. So let's go over here and do a screen share. And I'm going to share the software. Okay, and come back to my studio, switch that off, and I'm going to demonstrate to you now this software. And this software is called, just a second, I'll get it, Logitech Capture. And before I get corrected by Corinda, this is an easier to show version of the Logitech software. Just go to logitech.com and search for Logitech Capture, and you'll see 2 lots of software. Download them both. They have different facilities, but they also have everything in common as well. Okay, so let's go and share screen. Okay, and this is a Logitech Capture. And what I'm going to do now is go off full screen. I'm going to switch off my second camera, switch on my first camera, and go this way around. That's probably better, isn't it? Or that way around. The joys of live broadcasting. Now, I want to do something because I'm going to show you the software. Now, if we look at it, if we look at the software, you can see that I can go up or down. I can go left and go right. Just watch the picture, bottom right-hand corner. And those are the movements I can do. I can also change other things, but to do that, I want to make a change to my studio because I want to go side by side. So I'm going to go there, press that button, and we're going to go side by side. So I'm on the left, software's on the right. I'm going to operate the software now. Now, I'm showing you that I'm sat in front of a brick wall. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will say, well, what's it got a line in it for? Because it's not a real brick wall. Sorry about that. This is not a real brick wall. This is a photography backdrop on a stand, and I'll talk about those later in this broadcast. But this is not how I look. This is how I look now. But if I didn't have the software, let's just see how I would look without the Logitech Capture software. So we go for it. Okay, so if I zoom out once, twice, and then go 90 degrees, this is what I actually look like. This is my office. You can see the Samsung Galaxy all-in-one PC over there, which I wish they still made, but it still works. You can see over there my bookcase, including my German language books, and also, not one to miss a trick, the box for the lapel microphone, which you'll find in the carousel. Okay, again, we'll be talking about that later. Also, while I'm over here, I might as well talk about, this is not in the carousel, will be in the carousel tomorrow, I promise you. It's a Treblab HD77 speaker. And up here, okay, I'm going to stop now, because the main point of this is that this is the default camera settings, the camera's default settings. If you don't download the software, this is what you will look like, or similar to this. And whilst I find this view distracting, I want to be the focus. I want to be at the center. So using the software, I worked out that if I do 3 clicks, 1, 2, 3, I can appear on screen as I want to. Yeah, not as the camera would have me with the default settings. So the software, Logitech C920, 922, 925, 930, Brio, and the C270, this software controls them all. One download, go to logitech.com, download Logitech Capture, and you're in control. Yeah. Okay, so just carrying on with the Logitech C920X. It is up to 90 frames per second. You can't do that on the web, but you can do it on OBS or vMix. It's got versatile mounting options. Now I can talk about those if I go here. Mine is mounted on top of my BenQ monitor, which is also down in the carousel. Okay, 27-inch monitor, beautiful monitor. It's a CAD designer's monitor, and it's beautiful. But if I go here, you can, wait a minute, let me take the name off because I'm not talking about you at the moment. When you get a camera, and it can be a Logitech or it could be an OBSBot like this is, you can actually mount it on your desktop, or you can mount it on a tripod. Every camera in the foot of the camera has a thread, yeah, and you can then put your tripod. Now you find a tripod down in the carousel, but it is a great way because this camera here is actually at eye level, yeah, so I can look directly into the camera and I don't have to look up. Yeah, so versatile mounting options with the Logitech Brio. And just to confirm, it is 4K to YouTube, 1080p, 720p on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Zoom. And it was released Feb 7th, 2017. Now, it's obviously been redesigned since then, but that is when it was originally released. And we've been talking about, if I go up here, have I missed anything? No, I don't think I've missed anything. So I can go to the top and I can say that is the Logitech Brio webcam down in the carousel net today on discount. And it is $135.92, which is a good price. I've got to say, it is on discount. Now, the thing about the items in the carousel, whilst we're broadcasting live, certain items will attract a discount. I will tell you which they are as I'm broadcasting. So if an item has a special price, I will tell you. If you're interested, click the link in the carousel, find out more, read people's reviews, watch the videos. But I've given you my review. I've had this camera for 2 years. It's a workhorse. It does what it says. It is reliable, and it just sits on top of my monitor. I've not had to move it. It works so well. So if you're looking for an external camera, then do take a look at the Logitech Brio camera. Okay, now, Logitech Brio is my favorite static camera. Yeah. Now, by static, I mean it's actually on my monitor. It's got, needs phone again. It's got a 90-degree field of view. Okay, that way, 90-degree field of view. I'm going to put that back on its stand. So I don't, yeah. But it doesn't move. Okay, and I'm going to give you a comparison in a moment, the difference between an OBSBot and the Brio. Both are great cameras, don't get me wrong, but they have different purposes and different facilities. Yeah, and this is, just let me go here, and I can stop sharing screen now. This is here a Brio webcam, and you can see you've got the, I've got 2 of them, by the way. Sorry, so the OBSBot camera. Can we just do that bit again? This is the OBSBot camera. It has the lens on top, and then it's got a 2-axis gimbal, and then it's got the body of the camera. It takes a USB-C connection, which is supplied with the camera, and it simply works. Now, I've got 2 of these. The one you're looking at now is the original OBSBot Tiny, and we're actually using the OBSBot 4K. Hopefully that makes sense. But if I go here, the first thing about an OBSBot that makes it different is you can have 3 presets. So that's the desktop. I can then go out to the garden. Okay, and that's my second preset. So we're looking at a live feed from the garden. Now, I know it's blowy out there. That's my neighbour's gardens. But it is basically, it's a warm breeze. It's about 23, 24 degrees outside, about 80 Fahrenheit. And that's the second view. So the thing is that this has, I'll come back to me now. So, and its third one is obviously aimed at me. So you can see it moving around, and now it's moved to me. The thing is that the Bria has a 90 degree. I'm not going to do it again. Because of the 2-axis gimbal, the OBSBot has 140 degrees. Yeah. So it can swing. It's actually swung through 140 degrees. It's gone through me to outside. Yeah. 3 presets. You can change the presets at any time, but that's the start. So let's go onto the OBSBot. And I'll give you a demonstration of the OBSBot's capabilities in a moment. But first of all, I want to introduce it. It is the OBSBot Tiny PTZ 4K webcam. PTZ, pan, tilt, and zoom. Okay, PTZ. Okay. Saying PTZ with an English accent, I don't know. It is AI-powered framing and autofocus. And you're looking at, just so you know, you're looking, I don't need to do this, but you're looking at the OBSBot 4K, which is down in the carousel, $269. Now, one of its great uses is because, as you've seen, I'm just going to demonstrate it again, you can go from one place to another using one camera. This OBSBot 4K is a brilliant conference camera. If you imagine a conference table with people sat around the conference table, person who's downloaded the software, which is what I'm using to control this camera, can actually go from speaker 1 to speaker 2 to speaker 3 round the table, and there's different people speaking, focus in on them, and the lens goes to them, and they're the people on camera. If you're doing a Zoom meeting, then you could have people in the boardroom actually in a live Zoom meeting, and you can go from one to the other using the software. The other thing is that the microphones, you put the OBSBot down in the center of the table, the microphones are omnidirectional. So it actually picks up all the voices around the table. So one camera, one microphone to actually broadcast a conference table meeting. Because it has dual omnidirectional microphones, okay, which means it picks up all the sound around. It's got AI tracking, auto tracking with a 2-axis gimbal, which means it can go that way and it can go that way. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to do a live demonstration in 2-3 minutes. It's got low light correction. If I turn the light off, then I will go dark. You can still see me. The camera is trying to compensate. But if I switch the light back on, you can now see me properly. So never go live without a light on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. One light, it's down in the carousel, very good price. The low light correction, it's got magical gesture control. Now, this is an advertising phrase if ever there was one, but it is magical. Okay, if you put your hand up like that, then the OBSBot Tiny will track you. If you put your hand up like that, the OBSBot Tiny will stop tracking you. Okay, if you go like that, you can zoom in. Now, the OBSBot 4K has 4 times zoom. So you can zoom out, zoom in using your hands. So that's in, that's out. Okay, it's probably close to that anyway. Now, in addition to the gesture control, as we said earlier, it's got dual omnidirectional microphones with noise reduction. Now, this is not noise cancellation. This is noise reduction. It will cut out most sounds. Yeah. And as we've just seen, the OBSBot Tiny has 3 preset positions. And it's got AI tracking. And we've also seen that if I go here, that it has versatile mounting. So there it is. It's actually mounted on a tripod because there's a thread in the bottom and you just screw the tripod into the thread. So it can either go on your desktop, and if it goes on your desktop, okay, if it goes on your desktop, let's come back to me. It's probably a good idea. If you're going to put it on your monitor or on your PC or Mac, basically the base of the camera has a magnet on it. The attachment has a magnet on it as well. And it goes over, the lip goes over the top of your monitor or PC, and you put the camera on there. Now, I've just got to tell you, this is a live demonstration. Don't do this at home, but the magnet is just so strong. And in addition to having the magnet, there is an adhesive strip at the bottom, which is there. And that, so when the bracket's actually attached to your monitor, it is stable. Yeah. I've got to tell you this. I had occasion to actually move it. I had to stand up and grip it and get hold of it, and it didn't want to come off the top of my monitor. It is very, very stable using the magnet, the lip, and the adhesive strip. So it just simply is well designed, is what I would say. So versatile mounting, two places you can mount it. The thing about having versatile mounting is that you can obviously, if I go back here a minute and go to the desktop, you can obviously move the tripod around, yeah, to different angles. So as well as the three presets, because it's on a tripod, you can actually move it. And the only restriction is the length of the cable, and the cable that's supplied with the OBSBot is 6 feet. So it's got 6 foot of cable. Okay, now we're coming to the time in the broadcast when this, well, I'm going to press the button. And what happens after that isn't in the lap of the gods, but it may or may not work. So this is the OBSBot AI tracking. This is the thing that makes the OBSBot stand out from other cameras. The Brio is a static camera. The OBSBot is not. I'm hopefully going to demonstrate that to you now. Okay. If I move backwards, okay, so I'm moving back, okay, and it's tracking me. But if I move backwards, okay, and I stand up, yeah, fingers crossed. If I stand up, then the camera actually follows me as I move. Okay, this is the AI. I'm going to shut the door. This is the AI tracking feature. And hopefully in a minute, just a minute, let me come down here. Okay, it's got me back in shot now. I shouldn't have closed the door. Okay, never close doors when you're using an OBSBot. That's not true, by the way. Right, now you can definitely see that the wall behind me is a photography backdrop. It is down in the carousel. This is a great way. What you've got there, whilst I'm stood up, is a T stand. Now, the T stand is down in the carousel, and basically it's holding a photography backdrop. Now, the T stand is about $35. The backdrop is $15. And the thing is that you can change the mood of your Zoom call or your broadcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, just using a photography backdrop. And I've got one waiting to be hung, as it were. And it just changes the mood. Yeah, sets the scene. Great way to do it. And it's very easy to, well, I've assembled it, so it can't be too difficult to assemble. Yeah. But the point is here, not to forget the backdrop. If I come over here, the camera is tracking me as I move about. Now you can imagine that if you had a teacher in front of a class, you could use the OBSBot to record them, and they could be, I'm just trying to shorten this, they could be actually writing on the whiteboard, yeah, and it would track them, yeah. Tracking's got so many different uses. I mean, obviously, from my point of view, it means that I can stand up and I can talk about the fact that in my office at the moment, it is 82 degrees with the window open, yeah. This is actually, it's not in the carousel, but it is available from Amazon.com, and it just tells you the temperature and move it from room to room. Now, I actually got this. I got this to measure when it was cold, not when it was warm. because we're in the middle of a heat wave in the UK. That's our version of a heat wave, not a heat wave, 110 degrees heat wave. It's just over 80 degrees, and we're not built for it. We don't have aircon in the UK. Only 5% of buildings have aircon. Yeah, so we just swelter in the heat. But I think we're getting used to it. I think we're actually getting used to it. The photograph, this photograph here, okay, if I move closer, I'm trying to judge this. This may or may not work. Okay. Yeah, the photograph, I'll show you in a minute, because I can do it with the OBSpot. So the OBSpot is a camera that not only allows you, just that it's tracking everything I do. So what I want to do is here, do this. So when I sit back down, wait a minute, before I do that, okay, what I want to do, I want to show you the difference between this should work. Okay, I want to show you the difference between the OBSpot and the Brio. So the left-hand camera is the Brio, the right-hand camera is the OBSpot. Okay, now I said earlier that the Brio camera is a static camera. Yeah, sorry, I've got two cameras, one microphone. That's how this is working. I said earlier that the Brio is a static camera. It goes on top of your monitor or your PC or Mac. So does the OBSpot, but the OBSpot can move. It's got the 2-axis gimbal there. And that means that if I, just let me make sure this is going to work, otherwise I'm going to look like a right idiot. If I use on the OBSpot and I stand up, the OBSpot is following me. The Brio hasn't got a clue where I am. The Brio thinks I've left the room. Yeah, but you can see me on the OBSpot. This is the difference between the OBSpot and the Brio, because with the OBSpot, I can stand up and I can move around. Yeah. And I can be seen, and I can be positioned on screen in the center of screen with headroom. Yeah. Whereas, and what I can do if I go here, just a minute, let's just set this up. Is I can actually zoom in. Yeah. And if so this is a difference. This one, you can see my hands on the chair. With the OBSpot, you can actually see me live. That illustrates the difference between the two cameras. Now, they're both quality cameras, don't get me wrong. Just a minute, I want to sit down again. Just a minute, let me go here. Whilst I sit down, and we'll go here. Don't get me wrong, they're both brilliant cameras, but there are differences, and that is the difference in the way that they work. Because once you leave your chair, then the Brio will lose you, whereas the OBSpot just keeps you in focus. Simple as that. Okay, right, so that's the OBSpot difference, and I'm going to go back now to Logitech Brio, which is my main demonstration camera, has to be said, and I'm going to take the description off. But that is the OBSpot, and that's the beauty of the OBSpot. And the thing I love about OBSpots, okay, is I've got two of them, which means that I can do 6 views from my two OBSpots, and I can present so many different options with an OBSpot. Preset views, moving about, it's all there. Okay, so we've been looking at, I need to stop that, don't I? Okay. If I come back here, we've been looking at the OBSpot Tiny PTZ camera, pan, tilt, and zoom. I've shown you basically how it works. If I go here, just a final look, and put this full screen, and take its name off. Okay, and I go to the software. Again, download the software. If I go over here to the garden, just a final bit before we move on, there is a view of my neighbor's garden, and we've got 4 times zoom, so I can zoom out So you can see I'm looking through a window, and then I can zoom back in again. Total control with the software. Okay, OBSBot Tiny 4K PTZ webcam. That's it. Okay, now, if you've got any questions, just a reminder, if you've just dropped in, thank you for dropping by. You are watching, your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've talked about Logitech Brio. We're going to talk about Samsung S22 Ultra. And I want to say a big thank you for actually spending part of your day with me. If you've got questions, please ask. If you're just enjoying, well, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, then what you could do, a positive action that you can take. If I take that off screen, a positive action that you can take, if I go, just a minute, let me find it. You can follow me. Yeah, basic, and that can go anywhere on the screen. So if you are enjoying the broadcast, please follow. If you're watching a live broadcast on Amazon, you enjoy it, then follow, and you're actually bookmarking it. You're building your own Amazon Live TV channel. Or even better than that, I'm going to go through my widgets. You can follow and unmute. So if you want to hear what I'm saying, just unmute. Okay, advert over. I don't do much of that. Basically, I concentrate on what's in the carousel. Okay, so thank you for watching. Right, okay, now the next item we're going to go to is the Samsung Galaxy. Well, let me put the title on screen and then we can talk about it. Now, as you can see, the items that I'm showing you, I actually own. So we're going to talk about the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I just want to make one change, and that change is so you can actually read what it says on the screen. Okay, so we're talking about Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. I've had this for about 3 weeks now, and I'm just blown away. It is, well, it's the flagship Samsung phone. Okay, the best phone that Samsung have ever produced. And I've got one. What more can you say than, if I switch it on, just a minute. Okay, just a second. Okay, I switched it on and go here. The first thing to note about the S22 is the quality of the display. Now, I'm broadcasting to you today on Amazon Live, but I'm also broadcasting on Facebook. This is me. I'm trying to get it straight. This is me on Facebook, and that's the quality of the display on the Samsung Galaxy Ultra. Tell me when it's level. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm getting other information through, but I just wanted to show you the quality of the picture when you're actually live on Facebook, as well as being live on Amazon Live. Okay, so this is it. This is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some photos made with the camera and why it's so special. Okay, now the first thing is it's 256 gig, or my friend Guy Cook, who used to live in Walla Walla, has got the 512 gig. So different models, different memory settings. It's got an 8K camera, incredibly, 8K video. Now, we talked earlier about the webcams. That's me again. Just let me take me off screen, okay, and go there, and we'll just go over to LinkedIn. Okay, so we're on LinkedIn at the moment. It's got an 8K camera and video, which is super high quality. The webcams we were talking about earlier are only 4K. I say only 4K. This is 8K. It has the brightest display that Samsung have ever released, and that's true. I mean, I know the sun's not shining now, but it was earlier, and I was sat out with my phone, and I could see everything on the phone in the brightest of sunlight. So this is the brightest display that there's ever been. Okay, and it's come back to me. In fact, if I go side by side, let's have a garden shot whilst we're doing this. So I'm going to go side by side. So you've not just got me. You can actually, if I go here, you can actually look out at the garden. The garden, it's not our garden. This is the neighbour's garden. The camera feed is live. And right, so I'm going to carry on talking about the camera whilst we talk about this. Right, do you remember the Galaxy Note? The Galaxy Note used to have an S Pen. Okay, the S Pen is back. It's distracting me. I'm going to go here. No, I'm going to go here and then here. Okay, and basically you can see me now and you can see outside. The S Pen is back. If I take the S Pen out, which I have, and click on there, hopefully this will work. Just a minute. Some of the things I do work and some of them don't. Don't know why. I'm going to switch around. Hello, Amazon. Okay, so first of all, the S Pen allows you to write. There are 7 different apps already on the application you can use to write. The second thing about the S Pen is that it can do air gestures. So you can set up to take a photograph and then use the S Pen to actually click the button. So remote taking of photographs, so simple, so straightforward. So it's got a long battery life. It does. It lasts for up to 30 hours. I've had it up to 30 hours. It does 8K super steady video, and it's super steady because the phone has a gimbal. Okay. It also does nightography. Okay. And this is a made-up word. I don't know whether Samsung made it up or not, but it is the ability to take photographs at night. And some of the photographs by this phone actually look like they were taken in daytime. As far as the camera is concerned, I'm just going to uncover the lenses. You've got 108 megapixels, you've got a 3x zoom and a 10x zoom. And they take, well, I'm going to show you the photographs in a minute or two, so you can actually adjust for you can actually judge for yourselves. Okay, it's got adaptive color contrast. It goes from 120 down to 1, depending on the lighting and the surrounds that you're in. And it's so quick and reactive. We talked about it's got a long-lasting battery. I let this run down to 0. Using the brick, which is down in the carousel, the charger, I recharged the phone in an hour, from 0 to 100 in 1 hour. We've talked about the embedded S Pen, which is here. If I go out the room with the phone, and leave the S Pen behind, I get a little message on the phone itself, which says, "Have you left your S Pen behind?" I think that's quite polite. So you can then go and pick it up and you can put it back in the casing like that, and it lives. Now, oh, I missed something. I knew I would miss something. Let's bring that up again. Obviously, when the phone's on, you can take notes, okay, with the S Pen. But if the phone's switched off, you can also take notes. So you can take notes with the S Pen, with the phone switched off. You can save those. If you're in a meeting and it's a phones off meeting, mobile's off, nobody has a mobile on, we're meeting. That's why we're here. Switch your phone off. You can still, with your Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, you can still make notes while your phone is off. Right, now I can put the S Pen back. Okay. The next feature is that this phone is actually unlocked by Samsung. So you can go to your favorite carrier. This is dual SIM. You can get 2 SIM cards, put them in the phone, and basically you can 2 phones to use. You can switch between them easily. I do, no problem at all. You can take and receive texts on either. It's a phone. We seem to forget that. Now, dimensions. This is 6.8 inches and it's a WQ HD screen, edged screen. And it's got, as we said earlier, 120 Hertz adaptive refresh rate, which is very responsive. And just to go to the charging, which is very important with a mobile phone, it's 5,000 milliamps, 45 watt charging. Wireless charging is down at 15 watts. Now, the lower the wattage, 45 and 15, the longer it takes to charge. That's the math. The rear camera is 108 megapixel. The front camera is 40 megapixel. And the phone itself was released this year, 6 months ago. So it was released on February 9th, 2022. It is the flagship phone. You can't buy a better Samsung phone than this. It is down the carousel. It's on discount. Now, I could, and I have, told you what this phone is all about, covering the lens up, put it back on its stand. So what I've done is, if I go here and I go here, and you can see I've put the phone back on its stand. This is a Lamicall stand. You'll find it down in the carousel. Thank you to Lamicall for sending it to me. It's brilliant. I use it. When I'm not using the phone, it goes in the stand and I use the phone with the S Pen. Okay, now if I can find something, I'm going to show you something. Take that off the screen and I can bring this on screen. Just a minute. I just need to set something up. I've taken a wrong turn. I'm setting this up and hopefully in a minute. That's ready. Okay. Now, I love taking photographs. I love taking video. These photographs I'm about to show you were taken with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Okay, so let's come back and I'm going to go picture in picture. Switch that camera off and go picture in picture that way. I'm going to shrink myself. Okay, so I'm going to shrink down to there. Okay, so now you can see more of the photographs. Okay, so the images that I'm going to show you now were actually taken with, well, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let the photographs speak. Okay, so, no, I'm not. I'm going to tell the story. Basically, Birdland is a wildfowl sanctuary stroke zoo, which is in the Cotswolds in England. And we went there 2.5 weeks ago. And I got a photograph of the flamingos, but then I got closer to the flamingos by zooming in, with the Samsung Galaxy. These were taken in July. I've got another set for August, and the flamingos in the park. I had the question, why don't the flamingos just fly away? I've no idea. Do you know why? Right. Also, they had penguins as well. And basically, as you can see in this photograph, there are 6 penguins. 4 of the penguins are actually asleep. 5 of them are asleep. Now, this is 2 hours before feeding time, and the crowds come to actually watch the penguins feed. So they were just having a little nap. Right. The next image is important to me, precious to me. This is my partner, Angelica. And as you can tell, the photograph was taken at Birdland because you can see the flamingos in the background. And this is now Angelica's profile photo on Facebook. The next photograph is of where I live, of where I live. This is the wildflower garden. Basically, I love the next one because this is, wait for it, this is the flower garden in full bloom. And again, zooming in with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. The next photograph is the Crammer. Now, I live in Devizes, 93 miles from London. It's basically a small town in Wiltshire in England, close to Stonehenge, close to Avebury. And as you can see, it's picturesque, picture postcard. Behind the first tree on the left is our local church, which is St. James's Church. And then you've got the workers' cottages on the left, which are now desirable residences. The pond itself is man-made, and we get Canadian geese, we get mallard ducks, we get swans, we get pigeons, we get wildfowl from all around the world just fly in. Okay, and the next picture, this is where it's Devizes High Street. I love how this photo is framed. You've got the cars on the left, there are no parking lines, and then you have the wares outside the shop. And if you've got the original 8K photograph, you can actually zoom in and you can see the faces of people at the top. And the final photo for now, I'm going to close on this. No, one more. This is nightography. Now, this photograph was taken at 8 o'clock at night. And sorry, 11 o'clock at night, it says on the card. 11 o'clock at night, and basically I couldn't see a thing, but this is what the camera showed. And one I took in August, which is even better than that. And then finally, if you are into Shire horses, we've just had the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, and the Shire horse was carrying the Queen's baton. Back to me. So all those photographs were actually taken with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, which was released February 9th, 2022. And now it's at this point. So at this point, I could show you a video made with the Samsung Galaxy S22, but when I did this yesterday, something went wrong. So I'm going to drop the video for today. We'll be back later. But if you want to see a video, then you can actually go to YouTube. Okay, so next is a thank you. Okay, I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today. I do appreciate you spending your time. If you've got any questions, then please do ask. And I want to say thank you to Corinda, who commented, and to Didar, who was here earlier on Facebook, and also to, because we're live on Facebook and YouTube as well as Amazon Live, and Jessa is saying keep up the good work. Thank you, Jessa. Okay, and just a reminder, I'm broadcasting from Abbey Live Studio. This is Stephen in Wiltshire, England, and we're about to venture forth in the carousel. Right, the next item I'm going to look at is a camera, another camera, and this is, if I go here, I can show you this camera. It is the Logitech C920X. Okay, Logitech C920X. It's down in the carousel. This is the ideal first camera. Yeah, if you're using your internal camera, your internal microphone, this is your ideal first external camera and microphone. The C920X has, I'm just trying to get it in focus, basically twin microphones, yeah, and then it's got a lens in the middle which is 78 degrees. Now, as far as mounting is concerned, you can mount it on the top of your monitor using that lip there, yeah, or as we saw earlier, you can get your trusty tripod and you can put the tripod into the thread and you can sit it on your tripod. The X stands for extra, and I'm going to show you what the extra is in a minute. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Okay, so 2 minutes to the extra. The camera itself is 1080p and 30 frames per second, which is industry standard. 720 is what I'm broadcasting to you in now. 1080 is industry standard. Okay, it has clear stereo audio for 2 omnidirectional microphones. They pick up the sound all around you. It's got HD light auto correction. Now, I can't show you the HD light auto correction on this camera because it's not plugged in. Okay, but believe you me, it has it. This is my first camera I ever bought. I bought this 7 years ago. This camera is 7 years old. The one that's down in the carousel is a total remodeling, and it is my favorite. I mean, my first external camera. You've got a sort of attachment. It actually lives on top of the Samsung monitor we saw earlier. If I go here, I can show you where it lives. Just a second. If I zoom out, it actually lives. Sorry. It actually lives on the monitor over there on the Samsung all-in-one PC. That's where it normally lives. But for today's demonstration, it's actually right? That was using Logitech Capture software. If you get a camera, get the software. And the software I just showed you there actually controls this camera as well. And to speak of that, it's got advanced software, create and share videos. Logitech Capture is the one that you want. And we just said that this camera has low light setting 2. It's got a 78-degree field of view. So it's not as wide as the Brio, but it is wide enough to actually capture you and part of your surrounds. And the camera that's down in the carousel was actually released March 31st, 2020. Okay, now I'm going to play you a video, and I hope to be here when the video is played. Okay, I'm going to play you 2 minutes for a video. Basically, the X, okay, it's come up here a moment. The X stands for extra. And the extra with this camera, because you're not just getting a camera, what you're actually getting is a 3-month license to this. If I come down here, I go here, it includes 3-month license to XSplit VCam. Now, I've got an annual license to XSplit VCam. I love the program so much, and I do use background removal a lot. So what I'm going to show you now is basically, hopefully if I can find it. Oh, I found it. Yeah, I found it. I'm going to bring the video on screen. Okay. I'm going to switch my microphone off and play the video. I'll be back in 2 minutes, but this is, well, less than 2 minutes. This is how background removal software works. Let's go. And I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive. And we're back. Okay, so that was how all background removal software works. Now, just a note, you do need to have a green screen. The software houses say you can do background removal, you don't need a green screen. Well, that's okay. But if you want to be near perfect, you do need a green screen. Now, behind the brick wall behind me is my green screen, which is down the carousel, which is the Folitech green screen. And that makes all the difference. That's the difference between okay and near perfect. Yeah. The reason, I mean, I can't use a green screen on these live broadcasts because if I showed you this and I'm using green screen software, you wouldn't see it. You would see it when it's in front of me, but you wouldn't see it when it was lost. It gets lost. It tears the background. So if you're demonstrating, don't use background removal software. If you're not demonstrating, use it. It's brilliant. Background removal software is great for setting a mood. Yeah. And I love having, I've got 80 different backdrops that I can use virtually. And with the green screen, they all look good. And if you, I'm live 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday. And if you catch my show on Friday, I actually have the green screen and I'm using it in Friday's show 11. So if you want to know more about green screens, then join me on Friday because I will have a green screen set up. Brick wall will go and we'll be using the software that we just talked about, which is the Logitech C920X, includes 3 months license of XSplit VCAM background removal. And we've been talking about the Logitech C920X, which is the ideal first camera. Yeah, it's brilliant on Zoom. It's brilliant on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It is the ideal first camera. A great present for somebody who's just starting their broadcasting career. My coin is still stuck to my magnet, and I've got to work hard to get it away. This is part of the OBSBot, by the way. Okay, so Logitech C920X, and we're going to go back down to the carousel now. Now, if you have any questions at all about anything that's down in the carousel, please do ask. The next item in the carousel is the OBSBot Tiny. And the OBSBot Tiny was the first OBSBot I got. I can actually show it to you if I go here and bring this full screen. Okay, this is the OBSBot Tiny here. It's down in the carousel at the moment. It is $199. It's got 724.5-star reviews, and more people are actually talking about the OBSBot Tiny as being a great camera for live broadcasting, which it is, because as we've seen, not only do you get 3 presets: garden, desktop, me, yeah, back to the desktop. It also has a 2-axis gimbal, which allows you to actually, it follows you. It's got AI tracking. It will follow you around the room. We did this earlier where the camera is actually tracking me. Now, what I'm going to do now is, this may or may not work. The fair warning, this may or may not work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over the second camera. Okay, so we're changing cameras now. This is basically, this is like being on a tightrope at the circus, because it's either going to work or it's not going to work. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is, well, it's going to work or not. Let's find out. Okay, I'm going to put this full screen. Okay, this is, down the carousel is the OBSBot Tiny. I'm now using the OBSBot Tiny 1080p. The camera itself is actually mounted on a tripod. This is the one that was on the tripod in the display I showed you earlier. The reason for having it on a tripod is simple and straightforward. If I take you here, yeah, let's go here. This is my BenQ monitor. Okay, this is the OBSBot 4K. There's my Logitech Brio camera, and next to it is Logitech Litra Lite. So everything is mounted on my desktop, apart from the camera that you're looking at now. Well, it's shooting this. Now, the thing is that if you're broadcasting on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, the tendency is to actually look round about there, whereas your camera is up there. And so you actually got to look up to look into the camera. If you put your camera, just a minute. If you put your, I've lost it. We'll be back just a second. Okay. If you put your camera on a tripod, then the tripod you can set it to eye level. So this is directly in line with my eyes. So I can concentrate on the camera. And this is the magic of live video. This is what makes a difference, even on a Zoom call, is looking at the camera. If I look at the camera, it looks as though, it feels as though I am talking directly to you, which I am, of course, but I'm talking directly to you. And looking at the camera is a learned skill. But if you've got the camera on a tripod, there's nothing to learn. The instruction is just look at the camera. So rant over. Looking at the camera, if you've got a tripod, easy and straightforward. Looking at the camera, if the camera is mounted on your monitor, learn skill. Okay, so all I'm saying is do try and put your camera on a tripod. Tripods are inexpensive. There's one down in the carousel, which you can try. And just I enjoy doing this because this is you can probably tell I'm more relaxed looking like this because I'm focusing on the camera lens. That's all I have to do. If I look at the camera, then the rest of the magic happens automatically. Okay, right, back to me on the Brio. Okay, so that's my rant for the day, and just a reminder, that was the old spot. And I do need to look at the camera. I'm looking at the camera out easier. Okay, so back to me. And now I've got to remember to look at the camera, which is up there. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you for watching live on Amazon Live today. Just a reminder, if I go here and here, no, not there, sticky notes. Your host today is Stephen from England. We're talking about live broadcasting. We've talked about Logitech Brio. We've talked about the Samsung S22 Ultra. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live. And if you've got any questions, then please do ask. So I'm going to remove that. So that's just a short reminder. And the other thing is, I've got to do this. If you just, I don't want it there. I want it up there. If you are enjoying the broadcast and you'd like to see me again, hope so. I'm live 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday, and all you need to do is press the follow button, which is below me now, and you'll get notified sometimes when I go live. But the other thing is, you'll never lose my live broadcasts. If you click the following tab up above you on the screen, then you can find all your favorite broadcasters. This is your opportunity to build a broadcasting channel of your own, your Amazon Live TV channel, personalized. Okay, follow if you can, and thank you for watching. Okay, now down in the carousel now is a microphone, and I'm going to go over here. I need to switch cameras again. Just a second. I need to switch back to the Osbot 4K, which we saw earlier, which is down in the carousel, and because I want to show you something. So I need to go here. Okay, so we're going to go side by side. Okay, you've seen the photographs from the S22. So I can hide that. I'm still here and you can still hear me. So all is good. All is well with the world. That was the software I showed you earlier. That is basically XSplit VCam, which comes with the Logitech C920X, which is down the carousel. X stands for extra, XSplit VCam. Okay, back to me, and I'm going to switch my second camera on. So we get here, and I'm going to, that's not the right camera. Just a minute. This is a technical adjustment. Oh, is that? Okay, that was my fault. I'm going to go blank for a moment, just a second. I'm still going to be here, but that screen is going to go blank. I'm going to freeze for a second, but then we're back. Okay, I want to come back here. Down in the carousel at the moment is a microphone, and it's the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, and you have been listening to it throughout this broadcast. So you can judge the tone and the richness of the tone. And sorry, I'm just putting the camera back. Hang on. I want to leave. After every broadcast, my office is Well, it looks like somebody's just run through it. So this is the microphone. This is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. Very stylish. And the thing about a microphone is it's subjective. If you enjoy listening to my dulcet tones now, then this is the microphone that's producing them, the Elgato Wave 3. Elgato we know for, just a minute, I'm trying to get this the right way. Yeah, the Elgato Elgato as a company we know for the sound deck. This has a gain control. I keep trying to say volume control, but it is a gain control. You can plug in your headphones to preview. Now, the thing that marks out this microphone, as far as I'm concerned, this microphone, just a minute. Okay, I can show it you now. You can see it properly. This is the microphone. If I move back a bit, just a second. If I move back a bit, you can actually see the Elgato Wave 3 here. And there might be a difference in sound at the moment, for which I apologize. We're back to normal in less than a minute. Basically, it's on a stand. Okay, you can put it on a boom arm as well, if you so wish. It has the gain control. It has the feed for the microphone, sorry, headphones in the back. It's a USB-C, and you just plug the USB-C cable in the back. Now, the thing about microphones is it's a personal choice. I am fortunate enough that I run roundtable discussions on Facebook. And I ran a roundtable discussion last year, and I invited 3 people to join me. Christa Boven from Belgium, who brought the Saramonica microphone and the Blue Yeti. Rick Glover from the States, who brought his headset. And my now good friend, Alec Dorling from Sweden, who brought this. And I heard Alec speak. I thought, wow, that is a microphone. So I put it on my wish list on Amazon. Now I ordered it and it arrived, and it's been sat on my desktop ever since. Now you can judge the quality of the microphone because you, just a minute, I've made a mess. Just a second. I'm going to trap that there. Just a second. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Okay, one of the things about microphones is you don't want to mess with them because if you lose sound, you lose your broadcast. Okay, the only downside to the microphone, the Elgato Wave 3, is that if I lift it up again, it doesn't have a mute button. What it does have is if I go through its features here, so I've got my memory is over here. So let's do a quick summary. It's the Elgato Wave 3 premium USB condenser microphone. It has, if I put it in view, digital mixer. This is what sets it apart. You can bring Spotify, you can bring your web browser, you can bring your desktop sound into the microphone and play them in your studio. Simplest mixer I've ever seen or used. It's got an inbuilt clip guard for the ps and the ss. Okay. It's got a capacitive mute. Now, this is the problem. It doesn't have a mute button. It's got a capacitive mute on top, which means if you put your hand over the top, I'm not going to do it, it will switch the microphone off. The buttons on the front go red, but you might not notice those. Now, its official title, it's a condenser capsule with a tight cardioid polar pattern that captures speech with precision. All I know is that it works well, and the microphone itself was released June 18th, 2020. So I think we're quite probably due for a new Elgato microphone. Okay, now you're in pole position. There are over 2,000 broadcasters on Amazon Live. When you're watching a live broadcast like mine, ask the person hosting the show, I love the sound of your microphone. Which microphone are you using? Just type in a comment. Yeah. And they will tell you, and they may well provide the Amazon link to it. Because most broadcasters on Amazon Live don't tell you which microphone and camera they're using. Because I'm talking about live broadcasting, I annoy you to the extent that tell you every few seconds which cameras and microphones I'm using. But you have the opportunity to listen to hundreds of different microphones whilst you're watching Amazon Live. Just ask people and they will be happy and proud to tell you, because we all like talking about things we own. Yeah, we do. Human nature. Okay, thank you for watching me live on Amazon Live today. I do appreciate your company. Now, the next item down in the carousel is the Echo Dot. Now, we've got 4 Alexas. Alexa, what is the temperature?
At the moment, it's 24 degrees Celsius. Tonight,
Alexa, stop.
To low.
Alexa, will it rain tomorrow?
It probably won't rain in devices tomorrow.
Alexa, stop.
24.
It's brilliant for the weather. It's also brilliant for playing Amazon Music or Spotify. It's great for keeping your shopping list. It's great for getting alarms. It's great. It's great for education. One of the first ports of call, if you have young children, if they can ask Alexa, they can sort of say, "Okay, Alexa, what is the capital of Spain?"
The capital of Spain is Madrid.
Okay, you can get quick answers from Alexa. Okay, so it's a great teaching tool. Simple as that. Okay, now I showed you a few moments ago that the stand behind me, I'm going to go here again. I'm going to zoom out again. Bear with me. Down in the carousel, I just need to go 90 degrees, I think. Yes. Right behind me is the stand that's in the carousel, which is today on discount, and it is $39.55, which is a 14% discount, and it's a E-mark T-shaped. Now, when I was looking at backdrop stands, yeah, they had a pole at either side. Now, as you can tell from my office, it's not very wide. Yeah, so I wanted one pole, not 2 poles, one pole in the center, and this is what the T-shaped stand is, because it is a T-shaped. You've got 2 bars on the top and you've got a central pole. It makes it easier to fit into smaller spaces, because I just couldn't do the 2-leg stand, wouldn't work. So behind me, you're actually looking at the stand that's down the carousel at the moment on discount. And whilst we're at it, if I go over here, just a second, I'm going in the carousel looking for something. Just a minute. Okay, and I'm not going to find it, am I? Who organized this carousel? I've no idea. Just a minute. I'm going to pick my iPad up. To do down in the carousel, you'll find an iPad, and to do everything that we do, okay, down in the carousel now is my backdrop. Okay, $14.99. So $35 for the stand, $15 for the backdrop. You can change the way you look on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Now, the thing is that there are thousands of photography backdrops you can choose from. And every time you choose different backdrop, you change your broadcast. Okay, if I put an Hawaiian beach scene in the back of me and wore a hat, then it would have a totally different tone from having a brick wall behind me, which of course we all know is the only thing that's behind me is a brick wall. Okay, right, the next item in the carousel, and we're going to go here. Okay, now, yeah. Okay, the next item in the carousel is an IPEVO stand. Oh. Now, I'm going to sit back for a minute. We've seen, if I go here, we've seen the Lumicall stand, which is there. And Lumicall stand holds my phone, my Samsung Galaxy phone, perfectly. But an alternative is the one I have in my hand. This is the IPEVO stand. Now, holding this is akin to doing weight training. I'm just going to go back a bit so you can see it. This is the IPEVO stand. Now, the idea is that you have a clamp there, which is extendable. You have a joint at the bottom, Okay, and you've really got to want to move it. So you can move it up and down. You have 3 joints. The second one is there, so you can change the angle. And the third one is here. So you can either have the phone that way, or you can have the phone flat. Okay, so the phone can be looking down at a document. Now, if you click the link in the carousel, you will discover that IPEVO have document cameras. In other words, instead of having the clamp there, they have a camera. Now, if you are a teacher or you actually teach classes and you want to put a book and actually have it go from your phone to a projector to the whiteboard, this is the stand to do it. Okay. If you are, I'm just going to do it that way. If you are doing cooking demonstrations, well, first of all, you probably gathered by now, this is a very weighty stand. Okay, this is solid. Doing that is akin to weightlifting. It's the same as weightlifting. But if you put your phone in, okay, so your phone goes in the clamp like that, okay. But if you put this as your second camera, your second unit camera in the kitchen, then one of the things about the kitchen is you're always moving about, and you're gonna knock into things. This won't move. This won't budge. If you knock an IPEVO stand, it's more likely to knock you back. Yeah, it doesn't fall over. It can't. Well, I'm not saying it never falls over, but you've really got to want to move it because it's just metal, heavy metal. This is a heavy metal stand. And remember the 3 joints. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. And you can bend them any which way you want. Yeah, so I've shown you 3 positions so far. It's probably got a lot more. It is a very useful, strong stand down in the carousel today. And it sits on my desktop. It lives there. So let me put that back and put that down and go over here. And I need to put it back in place. Okay, so that's gone back in place. Okay. And that's where my phone could live as well. So the IPEVO stand, good quality, great construction, classic design, and brilliant. Now, where shall we go? Now, if you've got questions about anything in the carousel, please do ask. Yeah, I'm here to help. So if you've got any questions, just ask me and I will try and answer. If I don't know the answer, then I've made hundreds of friends through 7 years of live broadcasting and I can get an answer. I'm live 11 a.m. Eastern every single weekday. I enjoy being here. I feel privileged to be broadcasting on Amazon Live. I'm one of 6 Brits on Amazon Live. Okay, my friend Nick Wood, Grant Saunders, Corinda, and 2 others. Okay, who will come to mind in a moment, I've no doubt, but there are 6 of us. And we're all independent. We don't work for Amazon. We're here to help. We're a free service. So this doesn't cost you a penny. In fact, it could save you money. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to go through the carousel quickly. And anything that's on a discount, I'm going to tell you. So this is the quick fire round where we zoom up a bit. Okay. The Audio Technica microphone, just a minute, is on a discount today. And it just so happens that I have to hand. This is the Audio Technica microphone that's down in the carousel. You can't listen to it. I'm going to make a recording of it and play it back to you later this week. This is the microphone I got before the Elgato, and I can swap between them. I heard my friend Mike, and he was using this on a podcast, and you know what podcasters are like about sound. And I heard this, it's deep, rich tones, and I thought that's the microphone for me. And so I got it. It's got the gain controls. It's got the input for headphones. It's just a quality microphone. It's down the carousel at the moment, and it is. Just a minute. I'm rushing back to the studio. Give me a second, and I'll be back. It is today $99, which is a discount because normally it costs more than that. So if you want to save money on the Audio Technica microphone, it's down in the carousel. All right, so I'm flicking through the carousel. Anything with a discount, I'm going to show you. So this is, just a minute. This is the Lamicor phone stand. It's down in the carousel. I'm just going to zoom back a bit. It's lightweight as opposed to the heavyweight IP there. You can adjust the rake, yeah, like that. You can adjust the height like that, and you can put it back up again. You can then take your mobile phone. Now, this is a Samsung Galaxy S22. It could be an S21. It could be an iPhone 12, iPhone 13. This takes a larger phones. And as I say, you can adjust the rake to suit yourself. And it is, well, the thing I love about, just a minute. The thing I love about Lamicor stands, this is one is down in the carousel. This is one I bought 3 years ago. And this is the one that holds my tablet. That holds a phone, that holds a tablet. But the thing I love about both these stands, which are in the carousel, is the design, the simplistic design. This is down the carousel, and this is stainless steel, polished stainless steel. And you can adjust the angle so you can put your tablet on there. Yeah. So Lamicor stands, these are both Lamicor stands. This one is on discount today. So what I'm going to do, because I've made a mess of my office, I'm going to put that stand down. I've got these things in order. Put that stand down, put that stand down. Okay, give me a second. Put the phone back on the stand. Okay, so the phone's back on the stand. And just show you that. Okay, so I managed to get the phone safely back on the stand. It's there. Okay, so we can calm down a minute. Right, now, not on any radar. It's not on. If you buy a mobile phone, what's the first thing you do? First thing you do, having bought a brand new mobile phone costing over $1,000, you buy a case for it. And I decided to buy the case that's down in the carousel at the moment. This is the Nilkin case, and the beauty of it is, first of all, it's got a lens cover which just simply clicks into place. The second thing is that the four corners are strengthened. Okay, so if this falls on the floor and bounces off one of those corners, yeah, it's got a bevel which is protecting the screen. So the first thing I do is I actually get a case for my phone. Now, this case is custom made for the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, 6.8 inches deep. If you click the link in the carousel, you'll find that these guys do other cases as well, because the beauty of this case is all the, if I take, I've got the case on and I can still take out my S Pen easily. Yeah, every cut that's been made is perfectly done. Okay, and because I took the S Pen out, the phone has gone wobbly. Hello, Amazon. Okay, I wrote that with the S Pen earlier. So the case is patterned. It's even patterned on the edges, which means this will not slip out of your hand. And if you click the link in the carousel, you'll find custom-made cases, quite probably for your own phone. And I can attest to the quality of this. Everything feels good. My phone is happy. And when my phone is happy, I'm happy. Okay, so the next thing you've been watching without knowing it. Okay, the next item in the carousel is the Logitech Litra Glow light. Now, lighting is important. If I switch the light off, I've gone dark. You can still see me, but I've gone dark. If I switch the light back on, I've only got one light on. And that light is this light. Just give me a second. You're going to watch me go over here. and reach over. This is live, okay, and take out. This is the Logitech Litra Glow light that's down the carousel. This is the only light that is lighting me, and I heard about it when my good friend Marco Novo in Portugal was broadcasting live on Amazon Live, and he was speaking to Daniel Sigmund of Logitech. And Daniel talked about the C920 and 22, 25, all the cameras. He talked about all the cameras. And then he came to this light. And I thought, that light, I've got it. I need it. I need it. So I bought this light. And it's the only one that's lighting me now. Now, when you buy the light, I go here, it's got cellophane on the top, cellophane on the bottom. Take that off, recycle it. There's a shelf there, and that's how it fits over your monitor. And I'm going to show you in situ in a moment. The light itself, you can bend forward to the angle that you want it. You can also twist it from side to side. Okay, it will extend. So it extends and then it comes back down again. Now mine is like that. Yeah. And let's just have a look at the features of it whilst we've got Daniel with us. So this is Logitech Litra Glow light, and I've hopefully, yes, I have. Right, its official title is Logitech Litra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light. It's got true soft technology, so this is not an in-your-face light by any stretch of the imagination. This is subtle. It's got an adjustable mount. You've seen it go up and down, you've seen it go sideways. The other thing you do is twist the light off, and you can then put it, you know I'm going to say this, don't you? You can then put it onto a tripod. Okay, so it goes on a tripod. It has brightness and color and temperature settings, so it does. Now, you can control this manually. If you go here, if you go here, that's the on-off switch, and then you've got color and you've got brightness. It has desktop software. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my desktop with you and show you the software, because this is important. So I'm going to share a desktop piece of software, and I'm going to bring it into my studio, and we're going to go here and here. And this is the software that controls the Logitech Litra light. And again, I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to go picture in picture, hopefully. Right, thank you, Daniel. Marco, thank you. I'm going to go picture in picture. Okay, so this is the software that controls it. This is Logitech G Hub, known to millions of gamers around the world. They've added Logitech Litra Glow Light. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go side by side. Yeah. Now, the light itself, the software controls the light. If you don't download the software, you can control it manually. The problem is that mine's on top of my monitor, and to sort it out, I would have to reach forward. Yeah, not good. Control it with the software. So let's come back, and the software does this. There are 6 presets. This is, if I get the right software, this is preset number 1. So I'm going to go over here just a second. Preset number 1 is this one. Now, to me, this is very bright. Yeah. It is 6 presets, and all they're doing is controlling the brightness and the temperature. So we've come down. This is cozy daylight, and underneath that is mild afternoon. This is one of my favorites. Yeah, has to be said. This is one of my favorite lights. And then we can come down until we get to cozy candlelight, which is for the evening. And then the last one is one that I did. You can set your own preset. This is much too bright, so I'm going to turn down the brightness, and I'm going to turn down the temperature. That's it. So with the software, you can actually got total control of the light. We said it's just on monitor mount. Brightness you can do with the software's desktop app, which I've just shown you. It's got natural light. So it's not in your face, it's natural skin tones and a radiant look. You can be the judge of that. The major thing about this, though, is this is made for gamers and broadcasters. It is safe for 24-hour use. So if you've got gamers in your family and they want a light, this is it, because you can game all day long, 8 to 10 hours at a time, and it is safe to do so. Broadcasters like me, we do 2 or 3 hours at a time. Okay, but gamers are the ones, they do many hours of live broadcasting. Freedom of light placement, we say you can actually put it on top of your monitor, or onto a tripod. It uses the free G-Hub software, which I have just shown you. That's G-Hub right next to me. That's the software. Go to Logitech, download the software. You've got control over your light, and that's it. And I only need one light, and it's this. Yeah, I used to have 2 soft boxes, one either side of me. Great. No, I'd be disrespectful to softbox owners. They are bigger than this. This is only about 3 inches square, but it throws off a light, not a in-your-face bright light, but a light. And if you're a solo broadcaster and you want a light, this is the one. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. Okay, I want you to meet my friend. My friend Jim, just a minute. My friend Jim lives, I'm going to put this on screen if it's the last thing I do. Okay, my friend Jim lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Let Jim tell you about the Logitech Elytra Glow light. I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play.
Ziegler, the Alpha Dog. If you don't know me, I'm Jim Ziegler. I'm 75 years old. I'm an internet millionaire. 75 years old. Lifetime Achievement Awards behind me. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Stephen Healey. Now, Stephen Healey is a friend of mine in the UK. I've known him for about 15 years. I met him on social media. We've never shaken hands, but he's a great friend, and he's been a mentor to me in all things technical. Now, I think of Stephen Healey as Mr. Gadget, the gadget guy. He's got stuff that is incredible. Now, I do a lot of work on social media. I make my money on social media. I've got 150,000 friends and followers. So when I'm on social media and I'm using a camera and I'm using these devices, I have relied heavily on Stephen Healey. And recently, Stephen says, Jim, your lighting isn't right. Well, it's kind of hard to get lighting. And like I say, I'm not technological by nature. So he suggested that I get the Logitech Ultra Light. Logitech Ultra Light, Ultra Glow. Look at this thing. Here it is. I just bought it. I'm using it right now. And one thing about the Ultra Glow is it takes all the shadows. I always wear a hat. And since I wear a hat, my eyes are always dark. Right now, you can see my full facial features. The background is clear. And the cool thing about the ultralight that Stephen didn't say is if you use a virtual background, it doesn't distort. One of the problems with the virtual background is you get distortion because the lighting doesn't pick it up. Guess what? I can use a virtual background that I use in my business and it doesn't distort. I love that. So this is just...
All right, I want to say thank you to Jim. He's a great friend, and we've been corresponding. We never met. We've been corresponding for many years, and Jim saw one of my demonstrations of Logitech Elytra Glow light, as did many of my friends, and actually bought the light, and he's singing its praises there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right. I'm just blown away. And it's brilliant to have Jim involved in my Amazon Live broadcast. Okay, now on discount today is something rather special. When we started this show, I said this show was about, just wait a minute. Just give me a second. Lights, camera, action. Now, the action part of it is nothing to do with live broadcasting at all. And I just need to set something up. So let me close something down. And in the background, what I'm doing is I'm loading a website, and it will be a clue to what we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate the product, and then I'm going to tell you what you actually get free with the product, because the Fitbit Inspire 2, which I always wear, put it on in the morning, take it off at night. Fitbit Inspire 2 is my way of keeping fit. Okay, it's the only, walking is the best way to keep fit. And I use the Fitbit Inspire 2. I'm going to tell you for why. First of all, the price that you're paying today, which is 60, this is the best fitness present you could give to yourself or to a friend. The Fitbit. Fitbit are owned by Google. Okay, so financially secure, yes. Loved by Google, yes. Pay the one price, which is a discounted price in the carousel today, and you get access to all the free things I'm about to show you. Now, the Fitbit is just so simple. From a technical point of view, you just basically, it's got a brand. You can get designer bands for this. Okay, this is the standard. Angelica's got one. I've got one. We wear them every day. It's our way of keeping fit. We challenge each other. Right. But what I'm about to show you now, hopefully it will load. Just a second. I'm just waiting for this to load. I need to press a button there, and I need to press a button in a second. The site is loading, but it's loading slowly. I'm getting an advert. I feel it's going to give me an advert. I've got an advert in the way. Just a minute. Accept all cookies. Yeah. Okay. I've got a cookie warning. Who gives cookie warnings these days? The number of websites that try to put customers off. Amazon invites you in and says, hello, welcome. Nice to see you. And it's got Amazon Live broadcasters saying, hello, welcome. Nice to see you. Websites with cookie guards on. Who's heard of such a thing? And hopefully now I'm in a position where I can actually show you. Just waiting for it to come through. It'll be worth it. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is share screen. And I'm going to share my Fitbit dashboard with you. Okay, so this is my Fitbit dashboard. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm going to bring it on screen. The first thing you do when you get a Fitbit is you register it. When you register it, you can join the community on Fitbit.com. Okay, I'm going to go picture in picture so you can actually see things. Okay, not that way around, quite possibly that way around. Okay, this is Fitbit.com. You register. Now, the first thing is that Fitbit is about community. It's a site run by the community for the community. And everything that I'm going to show you now is totally, totally free. Okay, the first thing is community. You can make friends because Fitbit has got communities about health. And the thing about everybody who's on the Fitbit community is they have one aim, and that's to stay fit using a Fitbit. So this is a like-minded community. And you can join groups on Fitbit.com and you can ask your questions about fitness and they will get answers, not only from experts in the field, but also from fellow Fitbit wearers. Now, every week, run by the community, for the community, are weekly challenges. There's a weekday challenge and a weekend challenge, and it's a ladder. And it's who can do most steps during the week, who can do most steps at the weekend. And it's free to join. Now, the aim is to actually be the top of the ladder. So it's got a top and it's got a bottom. I try to be somewhere in the middle. But if you're running a fitness regime and you set off with the best of intentions and your family support you, eventually it peters. Whereas if you're part of a global community, every time I go out the door and I'm on a challenge and I do a 3-mile walk, people cheer me if I'm in the challenge. In other words, you've got people who want you to win, who want you to go out the front door and want you to walk. And all you need to do is wear your Fitbit and give permission to your friends, and they can see how far you walk. And you can work your way up the ladder. And you don't have to win. You just have to be there, get support from other people, and give support to people. Okay, rant over. Okay, the next icon is the sleep icon. If you wear your Fitbit to bed, then for 4 consecutive nights, the Fitbit will measure your sleep pattern, whether you're in dream sleep, whether you wake up, and it's surprising how many times we do wake up, whether you're in deep sleep. And if you wear it for 4 consecutive nights, they will give you a sleep plan, which will help you sleep better. The next thing is it records for all time the maximum number of steps that you've taken in a day. Okay, now I'm standing up. I do apologize for this. I'm not being rude. Okay, but it's the only chance I get to do this. As you can see there, it says I've done 60,000 steps in one day, 30 miles in one day, and I have. And for doing that, I got this medal. And I use the Fitbit, this Fitbit, to stay fit so I can do walking marathons. I walk 26 miles, 385 yards, because I stay fit, because I walk every day. Angelica and I go out every day for a walk, whether it's 1 mile or 3 miles, we go for a walk every day. And we started that at the beginning this year, and we're doing quite well so far. So I've actually got a medal. I don't often get a chance to do this. I'm going to wear the medal. Why not? I earned it. Okay, so I have done 60,000 steps in a day. So it measures the most steps you've done in a day. Next thing, these two are important. You can keep a weight diary. In other words, on mobile, on iPhone or on an Android phone, you can record your weight every day, every week, every month, and you can track your weight movement. The other thing you can keep, and remember this is free, is you can keep a food diary. And you can keep the food diary on mobile or on desktop, and you can, Fitbit counts the calories you're using, the food diary counts the calories you're eating. Okay, now I've come to my favorite bit of the site. It shows my activity every day, but down here it shows, if I go see more, the website and the phone tell you how many miles, how many steps you've taken today, how many steps you've taken this week, how many steps you've taken this month, and how many steps you've taken this year, how many miles I've walked so far in the last 12 months. I have walked 783 miles. And that's my key to fitness. It's just walking. And I do it. I've lost it now. I've put it down. Do you know where I've put my Fitbit? I don't. Okay, I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live on Amazon Live today. It's been great to share time with you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. I hope to see you again. I'm live at 11 Eastern every single weekday. I'm just on a countdown now. Just wait a minute. I found it. I found my Fitbit. Okay. As far as charging is concerned, I charge my Fitbit every week. There is a special charger. Just text overnight and it's ready to go the following morning. I wear the Fitbit every single day, as does Angelica, and it keeps us fit. It keeps us fit together. Now, there's a note here. Fitbit for yourself, good. Fitbit for your partner, good. Fitbit for your family and friends. Nobody ever expects a Fitbit as a gift, ever. You're giving, if you give this as a gift, you're giving the gift of fitness. Because as soon as you go out your front door and start walking, you are staying fit. There's no easier way to do it. Swimming's effective, and you could wear this swimming, but don't. It is waterproof. But going and actually going out every day and walking, if you walk every single day of the week, then you're on the road to fitness. Totally. Thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Stephen in Wiltshire, England, saying goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.